Hi there and welcome back. This is Alison. This is my third video for YouTube and you will see a new addition. I now have a microphone. It's taken me a little while to get that set up, if you know how techie I am. So this is a follow-up video. It's more of a vlog. I said I would do card readings, oracle and tarot readings for certain periods within the year, which I did. The new moon in Gemini in May 2025, just as a little timestamp for you there. And now it is the full moon of that moon. And now we're on the 10th. I think the full moon is actually in the UK is the 11th of June. And that's the full moon in Sagittarius. But obviously the new moon started in Gemini. So I did a card reading, which I will put in the video right here so you can see the card layout again. And the overall message from the new moon was looking at or developing or unearthing gifts that you have that have been latent, or you were just trying to develop, and the support that you were getting, the energy was all about intuition, was all about that connection to spirit, all the what to focus on, what you're grounded with. There was a lot of love energy there to show support, and the support was coming from the ancestors. So it was all like a very good time for reconnecting or connecting to ancestors, to those guides that you may have. Some of you may have some guides, some of you may not have them yet. Connecting with guides, connecting with ancestors, and then looking at your abilities, your gifts that you may not have actually paid much attention to previously, but the new moon was the time to start looking at that and start working with guides, ancestors, to develop over the period leading up to the full moon. So I certainly have been working with the ancestors. I did a couple of journeys. I do shamanic journeying. I have a CD that I use. I will put the titles in the description. So you can do 15-minute or 30-minute drumming. And that's what I use to help me get into the right relaxed state to be able to journey. So I've been journeying this month, trying to link in with that energy. I have been using my cards, oracle cards, tarot cards more as well. I go to a psychic development group that's every other week, which is fantastic, which I found going to the spiritual church in my area. So I went to the spiritual church and inquired about a psychic development group. There was one in the town that I live, so I've joined it and I go every other Sunday, and it's just been great. It really has. Last week we were doing divination with pendulums, how to use a pendulum. We've already done the bit about programming cleansing, because the pendulums that we've been using in class are crystal ones. So how to cleanse them, how to charge them, how to program them, so we can use them for divination. So we used pendulums in that class, and we also use the rods as well, the divination rods, which are copper rods that you hold, and they will cross to give you an answer, or what we were doing in class, we were actually measuring where somebody's auric field was. So that was really, really good. So I recommend, if you are looking to develop what they call the 5 clairs, the clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience. I think I mentioned in my first video, Nicky Alan, Prism Living. It used to just be, she would send you out through via email like a PDF, and you would work through it. But I think she now has done a video version of it as well. So go check that out. That's Nicky Alan. I'll put the name in the description. I've also done a development with Nancy Rebecca that goes through all the clairs, and which helps you find out which is your strongest one, because I think we all naturally have a stronger one. It doesn't mean that we don't have them all, it just means that there's one that we naturally are stronger at, and how to develop that. So I'll put her link, I'll try and link videos or a website for Nancy Rebecca in there. So I've been developing my intuition in the last month, well, few weeks before this end of this to the full moon. It's been enlightening certain parts. It's been difficult for some. I've also been on another course which is really making you look inward, what your triggers are, why you have those triggers, and then how you can better handle those triggers. So that one is a work in progress this month. I think with being ill around the new moon, I have struggled with lack of energy. So I probably haven't been fully engaged if I was firing on all cylinders, if that makes sense. I've just done what I could when I could and when I felt up to it. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. You've got to listen to your body. My body needed a rest, so I've had to rest. So I'm just trying to think what else we've done. Dream. I try to keep a dream journal, but there's only certain dreams that I remember, and it always seems to be the most significant ones that when I wake up to write them down, I've forgotten them immediately. So I really struggle with getting any intuition messages, if you like, through dream work. It's just not how I work. I've been doing sitting in the power meditations. YouTube is great for finding those. I think it depends who you like to listen to. I like to listen to Helen Davita. Again, I'll put her name in the description. She's done quite a few YouTube videos, and she has a website. Try that out. And since my first introduction, when I talked about meditation that I did, I actually went back to Boho Beautiful, which is one that I did a year and a half ago, maybe more, and started doing meditations with her. And Joe Dispensa as well, a morning meditation, which I've not really done his meditations before. So yeah, quite a range of meditations, journeys, practicing my gifts, if you like. Card readings, divination, using the divining rods. So yeah, when I think about it and I think, oh, I haven't done very much, we have actually. And from the new moon as well, just thinking about that, there was a card about where your thoughts and that should be, and it was to do with it, I think, the nostalgia. I think it was the Six of Cups. Nostalgia, looking at things through the eyes of a child, as you did when you were young. And I've certainly been doing that on my walks with the dogs. I will study flowers, see what new flowers have come up, look at the different colours, even the leaves on the trees. Listening to bird song. I love the bird song at the moment. I love waking up and hearing the birds. So I've been doing my gratitude of a morning before I get out of bed. I ground myself. I do my gratitudes. I take a shower and I use that as a cleansing ritual. When I make my first brew of a morning, I try to infuse that with an intention for the day. And then it seems to set my day off a bit better. So that's been me, really. Now I'm at the full moon, completion. What am I ready to let go of? What have I completed? Now, I was thinking about this today, thinking, the work that I'm doing with my intuition is ongoing. And I think working with the ancestors is ongoing as well. So I don't think that's something that will end after the full moon. But I have come to a realization today that a lot of frustration that I've been more mindful of what sends me off centre. And when I say off centre, what annoys me, what triggers me. Trying not to react to it and actually asking myself, well, why has that brought out something within me that I want to retaliate, answer back in a way that is not really aligned to how I want to be. So that has been useful in itself, just taking a breath and not reacting and saying, well, I know this has just happened, but why has it triggered me that way? So the realization I had today was one of my triggers is the need for control. And it can be a negative thing. And I think in my case, a lot of what I need to let go of is the need to control. But I'm doing it in a compassionate way. Like, sometimes I don't like to let the dogs off the lead because I'm worried that they're going to get into the hedgerows and get stuck and hurt themselves, or is there going to be another dog? It's all that sort of control over, well, I don't want anybody to get hurt, or I don't want anything to happen. And a certain amount of control, I think, is, well, I can understand my need for control, but I also have to recognise when to let go, when that I don't need it, and when I actually do, and when I actually don't. So I think that's going to be what I'm ready to say at this full moon. Right, I'm ready. let's get rid of this one, because there's certain times where I think I need to be in control and I actually don't. So I'm hoping that this wasn't just another ramble for you, but it was actually helpful for you to, one, see the different places where I get inspiration, information from, and two, what I've actually done since the new moon with the message that we got in the new moon, and what I'm going to release at the full moon. So I will see you at the next new moon. So until then, take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye.